I don't know, it reminds me a little bit of like, when I fractured my skull, like, and how a bunch of people like felt this like hurt, and it was all, I don't know, it's kind of crazy. You can make connections with people fast. Length of time you've known someone doesn't necessarily mean everything. That's very true. It is very true. Yeah, I did fracture my skull. Yeah, when I was 17 years old, I fractured my skull skateboarding, and I smashed it right back here. Um, I was going, I was going down. I was longboarding, which, if you don't know the difference between longboarding and shortboarding, shortboard is where you do like tricks in ramps and stuff, and then longboarding is a longer board and you go down hills, and it's all about speed and stuff like that. And so I was longboarding, and I was going about 35 miles an hour, and I was doing standing up power slides. And so a power slide is just like a fishtail, or like I don't know, you just slide the board out, right? So I was doing that, and on the third one, I was going, and so I did the power slide, and when it came back too far, and so I ended up being like backwards, and it just flipped me over backwards, and the only thing that stopped me was the concrete, like in my head. Like my head just smashed into the concrete, and I just laid there motionless, right? So there was four friends with me. Mind you, we did maybe, yes or no, maybe or maybe not, used drugs at the time. I was not high at the time, but two of my friends had stuff on them. They left me in the road and ran away because they were afraid the cops were going to show up. They just left me there. Just fucking left. And, dude, what's up, Smug? And so, yeah, I don't even remember deciding to go skateboarding. Um, yeah, this was actually my very last day of high school. Um, I remember waking up in the morning at 6 in the morning, and it was very last day of high school. I was a senior, and they had a senior breakfast, and so I wanted to go get a little fucked up before senior breakfast. So I went and met up with a buddy, and I chugged half a fifth of 5 o'clock vodka. He chugged the other half, and then we drove to school, and we made it to the breakfast portion, and I was wasted. Wasted. I remember friends would come up and like try to shake my hand, be like, "Dude, congratulations," and I'd smack their hand away, be like, "Dude, friends don't give handshakes. Friends give hugs," and I just give them a big old hug, right? So yeah, fucking smashed. It was bad, and so, anyways, the rest after after senior breakfast, they you can't hear. I think people can hear. It's on you, Mac. Can yeah, people can hear, right? Okay. So I yeah, after breakfast ended, there was just a couple assemblies, and then I think you could like go to your classes if you wanted to, but like you weren't required to, obviously, because we're already graduated or whatever. I don't know. And so we're like, fuck this. Like, let's go over to so and so's house. I'll leave names out of this. There's no point. So let's go over to a buddy's house and have some food. Like we got a bunch of shrimp we can saute up, and a whole bunch of food that we can cook up. So I'm like, let's do it. So we go over to my buddies, and mind you, I'm still drunk at this point for sure. It's still early in the morning. So I drank at like 6:15 in the morning, and that's the only time I drank. We go over to my buddy's house, make a bunch of food, and then we go up to his room to go get stoned. Like we're gonna go smoke some weed. So we go up there, and like we end up smoking, and then I pass out on his bedroom floor back to back with one of my other buddies. You smoked the devil's lettuce? Yes. When I was in, yeah, I know, crazy, crazy. So, anyways, ended up passing out, and this was at like 10:30 in the morning. I woke up in the hospital 4 days later. holding my mom's hand. I remember I was laying there holding my mom's hand, and I look over and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on right now? What the fuck? So then I'm like, Mom, where am I? She's like, you're in the hospital. You fractured your skull. Like, you almost died. And I'm like, no, that's not true. Tell me, like, what actually happened. Like, get a fucking doctor in here and tell me this, because I think you're lying to me. I don't remember any of that. And so, I'll fill you in on what everybody else has told me. Just so you guys know, the next portion of this story, I have no idea if it's true or not. Okay? No idea. So, anyways, I fell asleep at 10:30 in the morning at my buddy's house on his bedroom floor. I woke up at about 12:30. Woke up, was sobered up. I mean, I had drank at 6:15 in the morning, and so by the time 12 hit, I don't know, I was feeling pretty good, I guess. And then we ended up going to the park. We went to the park for a few hours, and played frisbee. And then I remembered that I was driving my dad's sports car that day because it was my last day of high school, and he let me take his nice car. So I was like, I gotta return this car. Let's get it back to the house and swap cars. So we go back to my house, swap the cars, and then we head back to the park. We go to the park for, I don't know, another hour or two, and then they all decide that they wanted to go longboarding. And so we take my dad's car that I normally drove, not his sports car, the other one that I'm allowed to use, or was allowed to use at the time. And we take that car, and we go longboarding. And it's about 5:30 at night. And, yeah, we did a few runs, and then I fell. And so apparently one of my buddies was right next to me, skateboarding as well. And then the other two people were in the car behind me. And so other three people. I think there was 5 altogether. Honest, Larry, Tim, Erica, and me. Yeah, 5 altogether, I think. So, because, 2 of them took off and then 2 of them stayed with me. So I fell, and there's just, like, I'm just lying motionless on the concrete, and there's just blood pouring out of my head. Like, they called 911 and were like, our friend died. Like, they thought I died. And they're like, we don't know what to do. Like, we don't know what to do. And so while they're on the phone, and they're like, should we send an ambulance? Like, and they're like, what do you mean, should we send, like, he's lying on the floor. And, like, all of a sudden I stood up. And there's just blood, like, pouring out of my ear, right? And so I just stand up, and I'm like, hey, guys, like, are we going again? And then I pass out, like, probably from blood loss, and just fucking pass out laying on the ground. So then 2 of my friends see all this happening, and they leave. They just are like, fuck this, grabbed the drugs, and ran. Like, so, and then the other 2 friends stayed and tried to get the ambulance to come, and they're like, let's just grab him, put him in the car, and drive him to the hospital. That'd be a lot quicker, right? So they pick me up, put me in my dad's car, and drive me to the hospital. And then, yeah, like, it took me, like, I was apparently, like, awake and could, like, talk, but I don't remember any of it. I don't remember anything. It took me, like, a few days to even recognize that I was in the hospital. Oh wow, you need to release a book? I can't write a book. That's why I'm writing songs. Because my story's fucked up. My story is just fucked up. So many fucked up. Dude, Eklo. What up, man? We were playing music. And then I got a bunch of bad news, and then we got on story time, and now we're on story time. I don't know what's going on. Oh my god. Story time is OP. Dude, you just missed a really good story, too. Yeah. About how I fractured my skull and how a bunch of my two of my friends just left me there for fucking dead. Oh, that's a good one, though. Man, I can't even believe, like, yeah. But I lost my sense of smell and taste because of that injury. Yo, Bearded Reaper, what up? Yeah, that's a Squire Strat. I don't ever play it. I play this Fender here. Which, I mean, we could play some more music, like, since that's what I'm here to do.